Good afternoon, and you are rolling on the road with Dr. Kimberly and Dave. Dave should be rolling in here shortly, but today I'm excited because we are still celebrating because as of July 5th, we have had our own channel across all social medias for 3 years. How exciting is that? Yay! So we are still doing our top viewers choice, and they get to choose the subjects. And so I just think this is so exciting. We have today Tracie Walls with us from Faulkner, Maryland. Yes, we're back over there in Maryland again. I tell you, Michigan, y'all need to step it up. No, we actually have a lot of viewers here in Michigan, but we have them all over the United States and in 12 countries. Can you believe that? So we're just trying to get around to everybody who has really supported the show over the last 3 years and make sure that you get to see who's keeping us on here. Because you know what happens is that when they watch it, they like it, they tell one friend and then they tell two more. And really it is the word of mouth that just keeps us going. And the topics that we come up with. And a lot of times it's driven by folks. They'll say after the show, do you guys think that you can talk about this? And or you'll see me in public and it's like, well, can you guys talk about that? And absolutely. So we just kind of look at it and say, yep, I think we can do that. Because we're definitely here for you to educate, to inform, and to also learn from you, and learn from your lived experiences because nobody knows it better than you do, right? Right. So today, Tracie chose about developing your inner strength. But I think what she originally sent to me was uh, being tested. When that inner strength is tested, do you pass the test? And me being me, got to be Dr. Barrington. We have to look at before we even get to the test. There are things. It's just like being in school. We have to learn about math before the teacher tests us on it. So there's definitely things that we get in life that teach us prior to the test coming up. So you want to tell the people why you chose that subject?
Oh, yes. Dr. Kimberly, thank you for having me on your show. So, the reason I chose that was because I, in March, had a heart attack. And at the age of 59, I would never have told you that I could do a heart attack and survive it. And I found that my inner strength was tested and what my inner strength truly was because it wasn't what everybody else tells you what your inner strength is. I realized that at that moment, I had to make a choice to truly save my own life and not worry about what anybody else said, and didn't have anybody else around except my husband, and he was asleep. So it was like it was happening. I recognized that it was happening. And I I did one thing that I know how to do, and that was pray. But this time my prayer wasn't to be fixed. It was if whatever was supposed to happen happens, that I was going to be all right with it. And I was truly ready to say goodbye to this earthly world. That did not happen.
And we're, oh, sorry about that. My foot hit the so. Um, Dave has just rolled in with us, and we want to say, "Hey, Dave."
Hey, Dave.
Hello, good seeing you again, Tracie.
Nice seeing you.
So everybody kind of knows Dave and our story about how we started this 3 years ago, and as of July 5th, it makes 3 years since we have had our own social media outlet. We are on seven. We have seven outlets So it's awesome. So when we go live, we're going live in 7 places, and you can always go to YouTube at the 100 Shades Diversibility, and as you can see on the logo, that you can always go back and watch the replay, and it has just been awesome. And so we are in all 50 states and in 12 countries, and we have gone so far. We've gotten 3 of our top viewers and allowed them to come on and be a guest co-host. They're not a guest; they're co-hosting because they get to choose the topic that we're going to talk about today. And so Tracie chose developing your strength, and I think it's interesting that none of you have spoken to each other, but all the shows seem to be congruent. The first week we had Shayna. We were in Maryland, Bel Air, Maryland, and she chose self love and confidence, self love and self confidence. And then the next week was for Taji out of Detroit, Michigan, and she chose developing healthy relationships among women. And today, Tracie chose developing your inner strength. And so when you have inner strength and you have self confidence and you have self love, you can build those great relationships. So these shows have really been congruent, and I think they kind of know all of us. And I definitely would like to say that I probably had inner strength, but I learned it through disability advocates and coming into the disability world, because what I love is that there's never a question that they can't answer. There's not a problem that there's not some type of solution. And that's one of the ways that you begin to develop your inner strength, is that you immediately look for a solution and not rehearse the problem. What do you think about that, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, it's first, thanks for welcoming, and it's good to be back rolling as we enter our 4th year of this. And I was late because we were talking about our workforce development team here, and one of the things we do is working with particularly young adults, students, on self-advocacy skills, because that has to be rooted in inner strength, and that you are worthy for what you ask for. And if it's an accommodation, if it's just to ask, can I get out 10 minutes early today? If you're as an employee, everyone's doing it. Again, it's special because you're a person with a disability. It's like we accommodate people all the time, but it's still that inner strength, and knowing that that foundation is critical.
So, if you are in the West Michigan area, you can roll over, walk over, hop over, however you get there, and you can learn how to do that. Begin developing your inner strength. The number is 616-949-1100, and yep, 911 is in the middle. And just know that you will be important to them. Now, don't call if it's you can't call them for an emergency, but they realize that when you need to do something emergently, that they definitely have someone who's going to come alongside of you. They might even say, "Hey, Dr. Kimberly, somebody that we need you to have a conversation with, or can you roll on down the street?" Absolutely, because we're going to have this meeting and we're going to talk about this, and we think they need to hear what you have to say. Or what I like to do is we have so many great shows. I like to send people a link and say, you know what, watch this, and then give me a call after you watch the show. Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been doing that a lot lately. A lot.
Yeah, it seems for whatever reason, people, allegedly, the pandemic's done, and all the extra supports that we chose to help each other with all seem to be evaporating now.
But we're still here though, Dave.
I know we are. And it's that the then more and more folks, though, as you said, are getting a hold of you and getting a hold of us. As it's like, yeah, people still need that
Mm,
opportunity to grow their strength, for somebody to work alongside. Um, yeah.
they do. What one of the things that I think is interesting that people don't like to hear, they like to say it's funny to me. People like to interview me when they see me, and the biggest question is, how have you developed that inner strength? And I said the part that you're not gonna like is that it comes through adversities,
Yes, yes,
and that's what you're learning.
always, always. And it's interesting because, like you said, it's in you. It's how you use it that makes it even stronger. Because if you ignore it and you do what other people say, and that's not what's best for you. And to me, your inner strength
Oh, I'm sorry, I
first.
can't see. I forgot I was live. I'm picking it up so I can read.
Where your glasses at?
Oh my gosh.
Now this is what we do live. This is how we are. We're doing it.
See, and I love it. And here we go. We have another one that can talk about that, but we got Pat from Atlanta. Hey, Pat, thank you so
Hey,
much
Pat.
for joining us today. Okay, somebody else is going to have to be a reader. What does that say?
It
Hey,
says
Pat.
that's
Hi,
from,
Kim. This is Hi, Kim or
yep,
Hakeem.
from Jess. Hello, Jessica.
Okay,
Good afternoon, Dr. Kim. Your voice sounds better, from Elena Cross.
and she's in Detroit. Yeah, yes, it is getting better. It is. It's trying to get better. It's taking its time, but yeah, unfortunately, we have to experience some adversities in order for our inner strength to come out. Dave,
Yeah, it is that challenge that life continues to give us. And I was pausing because I was trying to remember, um, one of the people I listen to often mentions, like, when it comes to our pain, we have to, um, like, go through it, or we will pass it on to others. And so that piece of, but when you're standing on this side of it, getting to the other side looks kind of scary. And so too many of us, and I say I choose not to move through it because it's so scary. So,
Yeah, that is one of the biggest issues. Um, it's looking at yourself and asking yourself, am I willing to go through this? Not can I go through this, because you can go through it. It's, am I willing to go through it?
yeah. And are you going to go through it with the intention? And it's hard to say you have the intention, okay, I'm going to grow my inner strength, but that you have the openness to the experience. And then, I don't know if you remember, Tracie, the original Karate Kid movie.
Yes.
Oh, glasses. And I love the cool look of glasses.
yeah,
And the original Karate Kid, the whole wax on, wax off. And that idea of, I thought I was learning karate. And it's like, maybe you have. And, it's like, I want to learn inner strength. I don't want to deal with pain and troubles, and it's like, well, unfortunately, that's the wax on, wax off of life.
Yeah.
So if you're focused on it, and again, I don't want to say doing it right from a judgmental perspective, but you gotta do the wax on in such a way that you are learning skills that you're not aware of.
Exactly.
So,
Now, Dave, using that analogy, I look at it, the problem that arises is the wax on. How you deal with it is the wax off. And when you really get connected with yourself, when you're taking that wax off, that shiny diamond comes right through. So it's like you're putting it on and it comes on in a glob. But when you're taking it out, you're smoothing it out so that it literally starts to disappear. And now that's where you come in at. So it's like, oh man, I could do that because other stuff comes on and then it just falls off. And you don't have to go through the wax on, wax off moment because you've already waxed that off. It's when you get that issue in your life that you have no choice but to go through it. There is no way around it. You have to go through it. That's when to me, that's when you really develop your inner strength. And it's able, because to me, your inner strength is able, it enables you to shine like the diamond that the people see every day. So that's why when people wear the t-shirt, I don't look like what I've been through. That's because I've done the wax off, wax on. And now my inner strength is able to showcase the beauty that is within.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just trying to get
Hey,
my.
I can read that.
All right.
It says, "Hey there, Dr. Diva D from Detroit."
Hello, hello. The big D is in the house some more.
All right. So
Um,
I'm waiting for you to, Dr. Diva, to to weigh in on developing inner strength.
yeah,
She's really opinionated.
yeah, and,
I,
and
I like Dee's opinion when she's on. When she's on and in the chat, oh man, it is fun.
yeah, yeah.
The what up though?
I'm having that image of just kind of like frantically getting through something, and it's almost like instead of sleepwalking, you're just that running through, and you're not developing inner strength
Mhm.
because you made it through, but did you? And how much real growth has occurred?
Yeah, because developing inner strength, it changes the way you see things and other people. Because situations that you may have once thought, oh my God, I've got to be the savior, I got to help this person. You're able to sit back and say, yeah, well, no, maybe I can give them tools that they can get through it and show them that it's not as bad. And then be there to see them when they come through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say number one with developing inner strength would be to believing in yourself
Mhm.
and believing that you have the ability to face life even in the most difficult situations.
Yes.
Oh, I like that. That's one of the things that I like to say as well.
Yeah, I like that.
Exactly. Exactly, Miss D. Exactly.
That's one of my very favorite. Oh, another one.
Mhm.
I thought you were the reader. Who's the reader?
Oh,
Oh, I
glad
thought
you
you
are
got your
able to
glasses
smile
now.
and laugh. Good program. Theodosia Baker.
She's co-hosting, so she's got to work. She doesn't get to.
Okay. Okay. But with that, when the
She's
hot
look.
water,
She's not a look. She is not a guest. She's a co-host, so she's got
right,
to read.
right, right. I was trying to remember why this came up recently, and my brain is getting older every day. Um, and long ago, when I had the opportunity to do some preaching in a school, um, I I practiced falling during like the beginning of the sermon, and what I did is I fell down these two steps that were in the altar area, and I quick popped up and said, whatever your immediate thought was, that's where your heart is, and I didn't call anybody out, but it was interesting, that, there was one young student was like, oh my gosh, and I was happy that most of the responses were compassionate, but I said, did you think, look at that idiot Dave, he can't even walk down steps, he fell, or is it, oh my gosh, does he need help? And that piece of knowing how you've built that inner strength, how are you responding in that adversity? And as Miss D said, when the water's hot, what kind of tea are you making?
Mhm.
And so are you, to mix the metaphors, are you, oh, I disappeared there on myself. I don't know if I disappeared on your end.
No,
Nope,
sir,
you're
you
still
didn't.
there.
Okay. Well, anywho, to mix the metaphors, are you spilling the tea or are you making the tea? Because again, many of
Go,
us,
Dave. Go,
we
Dave.
like to go to the spilling of the tea, you know, and that part of it, and in the tearing down others, how is that really helping my inner strength?
Yes.
Exactly.
Because it's like, you know, nobody's perfect, so why is it really making me? It might make me feel better, kind of like a candy bar. Some people tell me candy bars aren't good for me. But I enjoy that empty calories, or and so what's the true goodness, you know eating my spinach and kale, my greens. We eat a lot of greens in my household.
We want to give a shout out to Chica DeBarge, all the way from New York City, New York.
East
Awesome,
Coast
awesome.
in the house.
Hey, you want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I want to tell you this beauty right here definitely has a lot of inner strength. And not only does she have inner strength, but she makes sure that others do too. And I would say that would be number two in developing your inner strength
Mhm.
is finding a tribe or your tribe that is going to encourage you, empower you, and will let you know when you're doing good.
Hmm.
Because what did you say, Dave? It's easy, when you see somebody to tear them down, make fun of them. But when somebody can tell you every day, you know what? I think that you wear the color purple. I think that's a great color on you. That's positive.
Mhm.
To me, negative is, well, why you got to wear purple all the time? Who just wears the same color? Don't you got something else? Okay, X, you're not going to be in my tribe because now I'm going to start second guessing. Well, should I wear that? Well, wow, maybe it doesn't look good on me. Well, I'm sorry you don't have a favorite color. I mean, I don't know. But we have to look at the small ways and the small things that come against us having that inner strength that we don't even think about. that wears away at us. So, and it's not that your tribe is always going to tell you that you're pretty or that you're handsome or they like everything that you're wearing or that you're doing, but they're going to be honest with you and
Hmm.
they're going to accept you and receive you. Hey, you know what, Dave? I love the fact that you grow that ponytail. I think it looks great on you. I love the fact that the reason why you keep growing it is so that when it gets long enough, you can cut it and donate it. And I love you when you're in your little short curly phase.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, and that's what we look for with people around us. And then that helps to build Dave up to say, wow, I'm I know that I was supposed to make this choice. I know it's a good choice, but now I don't have to question myself or second guess myself because others are not kind and in their comments that help to tear and erode, my inner strength.
Well, and again, it's why, if you don't like something, why do you think it's needed to be said? In the sense of back to that color purple. It's like, I'm just going to say, Dr. Kimberly, this. Some of the purple is purple. I don't know how to I don't know the words to describe it, but it's purple. And instead of, on the positive side is having joy. I mean, that sharing of that joy and
Hmm.
saying, amen, thanks for representing. But the negative side, as you pointed out, it's like, what's she trying to prove? It's like, what's it to ya?
Exactly.
Why do you think that, like, how is that going to help Dr. Kimberly or you, for you to have those questions? I got a whole list of things that I don't understand in life. I'll just leave it at that. But I don't go around saying, again, that's stupid, because I don't understand it. That's what it really is. And a lot of times in my nervousness and not understanding, why do I feel the need to tear it down? It just, and then it's there. There you go. Just shut up, Misty. I'm with you. You
Yeah,
know, don't, don't.
yeah. D said first. She said exactly. Find your tribe, lead and learn from your tribe. And then she said, yes. Who decides you are the keeper of the town crier? Just shut up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You know,
it's.
I think it's interesting that when I first lost all of my hair, and it was maybe I had my first head surgery in September, and so I had lost my hair probably about 2 months before they did the first head surgery. And when the first snow came in November of that year, I was sitting, I'll never forget it. I was sitting at my dad's house, and one of his church members stopped by and said, "Oh, who is this?" And he said, "This is my daughter." And she says, "Oh, you pretty, but why would you want to be bald headed in the wintertime?"
Okay.
Just
Yeah, nuts.
so my dad, he just said, watch your mouth now. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. That's my daughter you're talking about.
D said,
And
oh, I felt that one, D. Oh.
but it's comments like that. I would have preferred, well, why are you bald? I mean, I guess to me, common sense would have said, look, again, just shut up.
Exactly.
Well, and is it relevant in the moment? Like, why? I'm just gonna say, I have a child that has lots of tattoos, and there was one time. Um, Juanita Campbell says, "Good afternoon." Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Um,
Juanita.
and and somebody just out of the blue, no intro. We were at a family gathering, and this was like a step-ish child of a cousin of our son, and he's just like, "Yeah, having tattoos like that is stupid." And it was just like, who are you, and who cares about your opinion? These were choices that Noah has made consciously, and whatever it's worth, he's doing quite well in life right now with his tattoos. Without people, his boss doesn't care he has tattoos because he's, yes, ugh, says Miss D. Exactly. It's just like, again, it was so out of the blue. Wow, those tattoos are stupid, and it's just like, ay, ay, ay. And
So
yeah,
number three would be developing your inner strength would be ignoring others' ignorance.
Yes,
You just have to understand that everyone is not astute. They have their own issues that they're going through, and you might end up being their whipping board.
yeah.
Here we go.
blessings, Kimberly, Dr. Kimberly Yvonne Barrett. Bless you. Yeah, I found out that the stronger I am within myself and the happier I am with myself, I can ignore other people and their issues. I can choose to say it. Yes, D. Number three, ignoring others' issues. That's great. I like that. And R.T. Franklin says blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But yeah, you learned that just because somebody else does it and you don't, that's fine. Because you don't have to tell me, well, I would never do that. We know that. That's why you didn't do it. I don't have to necessarily voice my opinion about it.
Yeah, and it's I saw a post earlier today about, or it resonates with this, that if you had $8,500 in the bank and somebody stole $10 of it, you know, and like, how hard would you search for that $10? You know, and to say, yeah, it stinks that you lost it, but you know, are you going to spend way more money trying to get that $10 back? And then the analogy was, if somebody steals 10 seconds of your life by saying something ignorant, are you going to waste how much of the 8,500 seconds of the rest of the day because of those 10 seconds they stole from you? You listen to somebody's ignorance for 10 seconds. And do you ignore it, or do you just like, ugh? And then all day or days, like, how much time are you going to focus on that ignorance, where again, inner strength allows you to just shoosh, let it go by. I don't need to pick that up. That's not mine. So
And then that means that number four would be not allowing others' ignorance to penetrate your inner strength.
Exactly.
You
mhm,
just you can't do it. And I'm gonna say, yep, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
What did he say?
He said,
So,
Amen.
mhm.
so what we're gonna do um, for this show, and Tracie, she can tell you because she got it on the first show, is if you can inbox me and you remember all of the points, then you will receive your Spark a body scrub, male or female. You're going to love it. Tracie, would you like to give them a little blurb about when you received yours?
Oh, I got mine 2 days ago. Let me tell you, it came, it was wonderful. It's got a little spoon, I mixed it up, oils was in it. I spooned it out on my hands and rubbed it on my hands, and the scrub felt wonderful. Once I put my hands under the water, oh my God, you could feel the softness. The softness was there. The the aroma, the smell. I think I have the vanilla. It is not overpowering, but you can smell the scent.
You got peppermint.
Was that peppermint that I have?
You got peppermint.
See, my senses ain't all together. Don't worry
It's
about
okay.
it.
You got peppermint.
But you can. It's not overpowering. It's not like if my husband walked into the bathroom, he said, that smells nice. It wasn't like, oh my God, how long is that smell going to last?
And
But
Mhm.
she forgot to tell you that it has real rose petals in it.
yes, yes.
So you're cleaning your body with rose petals and um, an essential oil. So yes. So
My
yep.
hand,
Dee said she got to go back and watch the beginning.
Mhm.
So I've been given different points on how to develop your inner strength.
yes.
We're at point number 4. So you have to give me at least 3 points, and I'll make sure that it gets sent out to you. In fact, the young lady who makes it, if you watched our first show about and self love and self confidence,
Hmm.
that was Shayna Thomas. She is a wheelchair user. See, I love my community. Oh my gosh. She is a wheelchair user, and she is a small business owner. She has done several different businesses, but I think this one in the crocheting is just bar none. And 100 Shades of Diverse Ability, we come alongside those persons that have diverse abilities, and we help them to develop their businesses. That's one of the pieces that we do, because we believe that disability just makes economic sense.
Yes.
And most people don't realize that persons with disabilities and those that are attached to them, because they have at least one person, whether it's a caregiver, a spouse, a family member, or you have someone like 100 Shades or Disability Advocates of Kent County. The amount of money of expendable income is more than $1 trillion that they have. And did I say and baby boomers are the largest group of folks that have disabilities and have the greatest amount of expendable income.
Hmm.
And yet they still try to find a way to work. And so you guys need to understand that, you know, um, disability makes economic sense.
Hmm.
It really does. And so I make sure that I support our small businesses, and there she is.
Oh,
Shayna
hello,
says
Shana.
hello.
We were just talking about
We
you,
were
or
just talking
we
about
or I
your
should say,
hands are soft.
we are talking about you. And so if you can remember all of our points and you inbox me, you will get the scrub. Because once we get your name, we get your address, and you tell us what flavor. There are 6 different flavors, and I trust me, it works well for men and women. It's not just a woman thing. Many men, they want to feel soft. You know,
And,
I,
and we want them to feel soft.
I'm gonna tell you that my husband got a pedicure every single month, because he likes to, when it gets cold, if they like to put your feet on somebody, and I'm like, you can't put them. Yeah,
Yep. Pull them claws back.
put them back. So we make sure that he goes. He, Then she said, yes. She said, thank you so much. You are so welcome.
Always.
Just, it's a great product. You'll enjoy it. And these are things that definitely help you to develop your inner strength, because when you feel good in your private time and you do things, a part of your self care, guess what? It helps to develop your inner strength. So
Yes.
that would be number five, is that self care helps you to develop your inner strength.
Yes.
And again, it's good self-care.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Shayna just
Self-care.
said yes, self-care. That good self-care, because again, sometimes we choose things that might feel good at the moment, that and nothing is, well, I don't want to say nothing's bad. There are some bad things, but I mean, like, watching TV is not bad. But you watch some TV and then you spend some quiet time, maybe doing some reading, praying, reflecting, meditating, so that it's just some balance, as opposed to, and sometimes you need to go home and turn TV on, and 5 hours later, you know, you wake up on the couch and go to bed. But but if you do that every night, is that self-care? Eating marshmallows, candy bars. Well, what are those pieces of self-care that are truly strength giving? And all of those things, even a candy bar can be strength giving. There was an African named Augustine. People forget that he was an African, 1600 years ago, who said all things in moderation.
Hmm.
What is that balance, which again is helping with strength. Good foundations are all about balance.
So I hear Dave saying that his his self care to help.
Oh,
She'll be back.
I don't know what's up with my machine.
Oh, well, I see you perfectly.
Okay.
You are there. Dr. Kimberly is loading and reloading. Shayna say that's right. We need balance in the
Yeah.
comments. So yeah, we do need to be able to balance. And Dave, I agree absolutely with you, because you know what? On holidays, you know what my greatest self-care inner strength is? I love watching the Twilight Zone marathon. It's it's mindless, but it takes me back to when I grew up,
Yep.
and remembering that that's what we did. We
Right.
watched the Twilight Zone on Sundays at 8 o'clock. Shayna
Yep.
say it's a must that we care for ourselves first in order to care for others, and that's true. And that's how we're developing the inner strength, because the more you know about taking care of yourself, Shayna is so correct. You can take care of others and these back, and it doesn't seem mature if you're, even with caregivers and caregivers,
Hmm.
the ones who know their inner strength and have developed it are the better caregivers, because they understand all of it. They understand the good and the bad, and they understand that they sometimes they have to get away just to take care of themselves so that they can be a better caregiver.
Right. Well, and back to the metaphors, when you're in an airplane, they teach you, put on your oxygen mask first before you help other people. Because if you're helping other people and all of a sudden you forget to put yours on, and you're the person who passes out. So yeah, not
Yeah.
being selfish. That's what Shane is saying. I had learned that I was not being selfish because I wanted to care for myself first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nope. It's not selfish.
So,
That's probably for women is the most difficult thing to do
Yes.
because you are the caregiver, you're the nurturer, you carry babies, you birth babies, you take care of the home, and you give so much to others, especially to your children, and you forget that, you know what, I need to take my time. And I believe that we're on number 6. And so number 6 would be, you need to tell us, Dave said what his was, that his self-care that helps to develop his inner strength is balance.
Hmm.
That's one of his. What's one of yours, Tracie?
One of mine to say is actually I play video games.
Okay. What
Yes.
do you like in particular?
I love to shoot zombies. I
Oh my
do
God,
VR.
Dave. Yes.
I do VR and I love shooting the zombies. Yes.
zzz,
Mindless fun.
Uh, I do I do two things for my self-care. Can you guys see that plant right there?
Yeah.
mhm.
Oh,
It's almost 6 feet. Yeah, there we go.
I said that's a pretty big plant.
That's my self-care. Is I have, wow. Let's see, can we turn this way? You
Mm,
see the point?
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, that's my self-care. As I take the time to grow those plants. And all of my plants, I grew them from babies.
Oh, nice.
I didn't buy them that way. I
mhm.
grew them. And so to take the time to nurture them, and one of the thank you, Shayna. She said beautiful plants. Thank you. Uh, one of the things that I love about this, I have one, two, three, four planters that have the peace lily in it. Well, number one, I like it because of the name, because I'm gonna
Mm,
have peace.
yes.
Number one. And then it's called a drama queen, is what it's called in the horticultural world. Because if you do not water her when she feels that she needs to be watered, she droops. She's
Yes.
the only plant that does that.
Yes.
And I mean, she could just have gotten some water on Tuesday, and by Thursday, she's thirsty again. And you'll see her, she'll do like this when she's good, and then she starts to do like this.
Yes.
And we are just like that plant, that if we don't water ourselves with affirmations,
Hmm.
then we wilt and we droop, and the next thing you know, we're just like laying down. And so that is probably my biggest way that I build my inner strength, is because I affirm myself daily, sometimes by second, sometimes minute by minute, but it is watering my own self with affirmations. I wake up in the morning, I say, good morning, beautiful, I expect great things out of you today.
Yes.
And then I have to find a lash to put on, and I find a lip gloss, and sometimes the two are the same color, and then I go about my day. I may never leave the house, but every time I have a lot of mirrors, and every time I roll past a mirror, I look at me and I say, I like who I see.
Yes.
It may be a bad day. I may not feel well. Maybe, someone was mean to me. I may have even been mean to somebody else. But every time I look in that mirror, I will say to myself, you know what? You weren't nice today. So you need to fix it. And if you're not nice to, get the opportunity to be nice to that person again, then the next person, you need to make sure that you handle that, a situation better. And I'm always honest with myself.
Yes.
Now, I might could tell you, well, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. I'm good. But I don't tell that to Kim. I'll say, Kim, you're not doing well today. You know,
Exactly.
you need to take care of you, or your attitude. We need to check it. Are you being judgmental? Are you, not being helpful? Are I go down this list of things to ask myself, and I'm like, okay, I need to improve this, or this was good. Yep, I think I might do too much in this area. You need to move some of that over here. And so I take the time and I'm honest. And those are the things that help to develop your inner strength. And then you to go to your original request for the topic of when the test comes, and your inner strength is tested, how do you pass the test? Is that if you've done all of these things, then you're able to be able to pass the test when your inner strength is challenged.
Yes. Yes. Well, I would be remiss because Dee said that she decided to get rid of her dining room table and get a pool table for self care.
That's awesome. I just discovered how to read the comments over there. I'm not very technologically with it, folks. And yeah, I've been reading Miss D's as well, that opera piece, and she said a few times that, what you were saying, Dr. Kimberly, that, you know as women, you're schooled to take care of others' needs first, and it's still hard, and Miss D was resonating with that. It's still hard. So yeah.
Oh, Jason said Lee said hi. He
Hey,
came on.
Jason. But I want to say this for men. And since I've known Dave, I've known you, what,
One day we'll figure it out. It's been forever.
I think we're about at 8 or 9 years now.
Yeah.
8 or 9 years. I've definitely been associated with disability advocates since at least almost 10, if not just a little under 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, you definitely have a woman's heart and spirit because you care for so many people.
Mm.
You just Sunday, Sunday, people got an opportunity to have a conversation with me and ask me a gabillion questions. And they said, "You do so much in that wheelchair, and do you know this man named Dave Bukowski? Because I know Dave Bukowski. Do you know Dave Bukowski? I know Dave Bukowski. I can introduce you to him if you need me to. I think you need to be introduced to Dave Bukowski. He work at Disability Advocates of Kent County. Yup, you need to meet him. I think y'all would get along just fine." I thought that would make you laugh.
Oh, I think we would get along. Uh,
So yeah, I think we would. I just, Dave, I couldn't even explain our history or our relationship, and I just kind of like laughed. The only thing that I could hear in that moment in the back of my head is, "Hey, tell my husband-in-law I said hey."
ah,
He would come in right about now. You got he would be bouncing right now. "You still on the show?" And I'm like, "Yeah." "Hey, husband-in-law."
that's been all back at you.
And then he would come walk over here. "Hey."
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna. Anyways, a
And
small tear grows because, yeah, yeah.
and this was every Tuesday. I mean, and during the pandemic, it was 2 days a week that we were doing this together. And he would always, "Hey, husband-in-law,
Hmm.
how's it going?" And I have to say, I would be remiss if I didn't say this in public and on the show, as I was talking to the insurance company the other day, and they, well, actually GMC wanted to know did I want his car, and I was like, no, I I I didn't. Not the one that he died in. She said, "Oh, I love it, husband-in-law. Uh, not the one that he died in. We had a GMC, and in the GMC, in the window, he would he always had your card from your campaign card from the day that you gave it to him.
Hmm.
It stayed in the car. And 2 weeks before he died, he took the car in to get it repaired. So he cleaned everything out and put it in there. And he said, let husband-in-law know that the only reason why this is coming out of my car is because we got to get it fixed. And as soon as it come back, I'm gonna put it back in there because I take him. He ride around with me everywhere I go. Because he the husband-in-law.
Hmm.
And yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I just
She's getting a kick out of that. Dee is getting a kick out of your term husband-in-law. Your title. It's not a term, it is a title. Dave
Title of
is
honor.
husband-in-law.
and that's all I could think about in the moment. And I really tried to I did. I had to laugh my way through it, but I cried when I got home, as they just went on and on and on. First I just was beaming that here I am in the heart of the Black community, and they're singing the praises of my white friend. And just how you have got to meet this guy, and they still remember being with you over there on Camelot, and their experiences and the people that they knew there. Someone named Tina. Well, do you know Tina? Does she still work there? I said, Trina Edmondson? No, girl, her name was Tina. I
Tina
was like,
Tilney, who unfortunately is with Stanley in the angelic choir.
and I just, it was just, I'm sorry, just a little emotional in the moment, but I just had to say that, to you. And it's like, if they only knew that he's the husband-in-law. you know, my husband just created this term for him. He's the husband-in-law. But that I mean, for 15 minutes, they went on and on and on about this Dave Bukowski and Disability Advocates of Kent County, and the things that they did in their relationship with disability advocates, and how they felt that the two of you would really work well together. And if you need us to introduce you to him, we could do that for you. We'll do that. I said, really? That would be nice.
That would be very nice. Yeah. Well, and again, the goodness. Yes, Misty, we all love Dr. Kimberly, always and forever. That people want to connect good people, and
Mhm.
it's the smart aleck in me would say, so I guess you don't watch our show.
You know what? I didn't want to say it like that. But and I'm gonna tell you this, because when I do talk about our relationship and the things that we do, there are those that will say, oh my gosh, that is awesome. Because many times I say, Dave and I, we are a perfect example of what it is that we want people to do, what we want
Mhm.
them to know, how we've come alongside of each other, and we have lent our talents. And he has shared his card with me. At first it was a shared. Now I just have my own privilege card. I just I just got my own card. And he actually gave me a card from the very beginning that made me an authorized user. And there's a difference between, when I would take my husband's JCPenney card and go, get something for the grandkids. And he finally said, "Oh, okay, I know what to do about this." After about 3 or 4 times of asking to use his card, he came up to me and said, "Bam, look what I got for the wife." And it was a card that had my own name on it. It had my own name on it. And that's what Dave, did for me. He didn't just say, "Okay, um, I'm going to mentor you and allow you to, use my card when I'm around." But he said, "You know what? Hold on. Boom. Here's your own card.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go in the room and you go in there whenever you need to."
You go on stage with the governor.
And he did do it. What did she say?
She said that she needed to say it in public. She didn't tell you today that she loved you. That's why she said it. Shayna loves it too.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That helps to build up your inner strength. So what is that? Is that 8 points we got there?
That's 8.
Is that we have people that will, and I think that we said it earlier, and it may have been included in a point, I think probably in number 2 about having a tribe. But I just do believe that there needs to be an individual that can, 1 or 2 people is what you need, every day, that says, "Hey, beside yourself," and even if you can't tell yourself that you love you today, to build up your inner strength, that somebody else is saying, "Hey, you know what? I love you."
Yes.
Not just in private, but I want people to know publicly that I love you, that we're in fellowship and we're in relationship. And that's what I have loved about Dave and our relationship, and why it made it so easy for my husband to give him that kind of title, because that's major. When you talk about, husband and wife, for him to say husband in law, what he always said was, he loves you like I love you. He wants to see the very best for you, just like I want to see the very best for you.
Yes.
And what is that, number 9? Who wants to see the best for you?
Yes.
Who does? Because now when we talk about developing that inner strength, we have to move from the generality to more specificity, and say we need some of those, holistic core values. What is it going to take every day to feed it,
Mm-hmm.
to keep it developed? Because just like these plants, I can't just have them and only water them once every now and again. I have to, some of them require that, especially this big one, because there's so many and the roots are so big, they almost have to be watered every day, because look what they have to support.
Mm-hmm.
So if we look at this, I'm going to turn it again, and we look at this plant, how big it is, giving it just a little bit of water once or twice a week is not going to make it be green, big, and beautiful like that. So we
Shayna says number 9, great point. Yes.
so that means that sometimes I'll come over here and I'll say, "Oh my gosh, they must be really thirsty because the water is completely dry and I just watered it the day before." And
Mm-hmm.
then when I look at it closer, this clump of leaves right here, there are 9 brand new leaves right there. So I'm like, "Oh my gosh, they need that water to feed those other babies."
Yes.
So think about all the people that begin to attach themselves to you, that are drawing from you. And now you're going to need more than just a tribe. You're going to need like 10 D's to tell you, "I love you. I appreciate you. I'm thinking about you today. Hey, what did you eat? Can I get you something? Can I order you something?
Hmm. Well, and when you ask that question, um, you're like, who wants to see the best for you?
Hmm.
And with the theme of self care, hopefully, when you look in the mirror, you see somebody who wants the best for you. And again, that's not selfish. That's real. That,
Mhm.
that's self care, and it's like that is somebody who wants the best for me, and that balance, um, yeah. So, because that, Miss
That's going to
D
be
put
our
that,
10th point.
yeah, Miss D put that in the piece there, that, or in the comments. I sing for self care. That, folks, we have to take care of ourselves
Yep.
with
And Shayna,
others, with people. I mean, hopefully you're not by yourself in that. However, it's, yeah.
yep. And Shayna says that we have people in our lives that needs to be watered.
Hmm.
And she said, great one, Mr. Dave, when you look in the mirror.
So we have 10 points. We got 10.
Yes.
And I'm going to say, if you can give me five of the 10, because that was a lot. And even if you, let's say you only remember three of the points, if you can give me 3 points and three takeaways, this is what I took away from this show today. Wow. I learned that I, you can say three takeaways would be: I need to love myself more. I need to like who I see in the mirror. And I need to start watering other people. Shayna, get ready to work, because I'm not putting a limit on the number of people that can
That
that
can
can
send them.
inbox me. So get ready to work and make some more scrub, and we're definitely going to get a variety pack out to Pastor Dave, so that him and my sister in love, I call her my sister wife, so we all have our little terms for each other. She's my sister wife, and she said, "Look, really."
Yes,
On
she
it,
did.
boss.
I'm on it, boss. Yes, she did.
And look, and I will get the cards to you so that you can put the cards it so we can put the cards in there. She said
Mhm.
she needs to water herself with number one. Uh,
Hmm.
so I'm gonna I may even help you along a little bit. But when we finish the show, she said, so when I finish the show, we're gonna put it out there, and I'm gonna tell you what the flavors are. Shayna, I may even have my little stuff ready to add to the box. Which one is hard for you? Which one is hard for you, D?
Making herself number one.
Oh yeah, watering herself.
Yes.
So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give you the flavors. Oh yeah, we're gonna give you the flavors, or the scents, I should say, and then you're gonna tell me either, and I'll put the rules on there, some takeaways, or maybe we could even put on there, how are you going? What are you going to do to develop your inner strength? If you don't think that you have it, or if you do believe that you have inner strength, what are some of the things that you learned today that you're going to take away and say, yeah, I'm gonna start doing ABC. We already know what Miss D is going to do. She's going to start watering herself.
Oh, Miss D,
And get
you
that
are
pool
so
table.
welcome.
The pool table,
Pool
yes.
table. We're looking for the invitation.
I'm just
I'm not
saying.
very good, but I enjoy it.
So yeah, I mean, even if you don't remember all 10, if you can say three things, because I think we can inner strength. I think that we all can look at three things that we can implement and start to do better.
D says yes. I'm not good either.
But we'll do. I will. I will. I will let you guys. I'll list them, and then I tell you what. We'll put all 10 points, and maybe we'll just say, which ones are you going to implement to develop your inner strength?
Hmm.
And if you tell me, then that holds everybody accountable because I'm not going to add any more points. But just what I love is accountability.
Yes.
Is that accountability piece, and you'll get your scrub in the mail. How about that? Part of your self care.
Hmm.
And look, Shayna, we're gonna make sure that Pastor Dave gets all six. See, aren't you glad I talked to you about this all six thing? Yeah. I'm just saying. It comes. See, we're just gonna do all six, and so him and my sister wife can enjoy it and they can relax because they do so much for so many in the community, their family. I'm still waiting for dinner. That's why I've gotten so skinny is because they didn't feed me. They just left me. You know how
Hey,
you're supposed to leave. They didn't even leave me with a self feeder or nothing. They just
hey! I have a witness that we were talking about a date soon, but
but
not to
that's
change
okay.
this.
I will say that Peggy did come and feed me.
Okay, well, once a month if you need it or not.
Peggy came and fed me.
Oh goodness!
her and Hannah. So
All
Look,
right.
D said, I want the scrub. Am I the ninth caller?
It's not about being number 9. You have to give us. Miss D said earlier it's a tall order. It was 3 and 3. Three of the points and 3 takeaways. So sorry, Miss D, you can't be the ninth caller. You have to do the work. As Dr. Kimberly said earlier, you got to do the work.
that's it.
So, and speaking of work, Miss D did say she wasn't very good at pool either. So we have to give her to springtime. It's like, I think you can still beat me today. You don't have to be very good to beat me. I'm just going to say that.
Well, me too, neither, because I think you need two good hands, and
You got that rate thing. We'll get you hooked up. Accommodations.
but I'll see if Disability Advocates of Kent County can get me some accommodations so I can play pool.
We got it. We got it.
Because I'm still waiting. Maybe you know what? I'm thinking that I'm gonna say to the lady, you know what? I would like for you to make introductions for me. I want to meet this guy, Dave Bukowski.
I do too. He sounds pretty cool.
I know, right?
Oh,
So it's
goodness.
always nice to know, and that definitely helps to develop your inner strength when people recognize I'm not giving no more points. I'm just making a comment. I'm not going to say, oh, that's a point. But it is. Again, when you see how far your reach is and how long ago, I think Tina was around when I first got there. Or was she before me?
Yeah, I mean, Tina Tilney was way before you, and then
But
unfortunately,
But there was someone who was there when I got there, African American lady, and she died shortly after.
Oh, Judith Williams.
That's yeah, yeah.
Yep.
She was one of the persons that started when I started there. What are they doing? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
They're they're having an argument. These pigeons are having this argument. I think it's a domestic violence situation because he's pecking at her and then another one's trying to save her. Lord, look, develop your inner strength. Oh my goodness, that was a lot going on. Ooh, in the animal kingdom. Interesting.
Who?
And so she was there, I want to say maybe my first year at Disability Advocates of Kent County. Yeah, that first year that I got there. And then she had passed away.
Mm-hmm.
It's Judith.
Yeah, and yeah, she was a good person. Yeah.
We want to say thank you to Dave. Guess what? He actually went. We are now an hour and 16 minutes in, but this was a really good conversation. We had some great live feedback, and that's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about. Thank you to our guest co-host. You did an excellent job.
Thank you, Tracie.
Well, thank you. You know, I love watching y'all, and to be a part of you, just call me anytime.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'll let you
We
know
got
the next time
witnesses
I'm
when
in
you
here.
say things like that.
Dave,
Hey,
I might be able to go on vacation.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to teach me how to do this StreamYard thing. Remember what I said earlier? I just discovered how to find the comments.
Right, and they're right next to you.
I know, but that's just, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
But you know I love you. But
And I love you, and so it's
and this is
awesome
why it
rolling.
works.
And so, folks, take care of yourselves out there. Keep building that inner strength. That's all I got today.
That's all I got. And you guys get it together so you can get your scrub. You heard it here first from users of the scrub and the creator of it.
Awesomeness.